Yo, what up guys? Jacques Slade here. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to get into a bunch of sneaker releases that are happening in the upcoming week. But before we get there, there's a shoe that I want to show you that's really personal to me, and it was sent over by the homies over at Circulate. So shout out to Corey for sending this over. But regarding this week's releases, not a ton of stuff dropping, but there's some really good stuff dropping. So without further ado, let's hop into these. So this was sent over again by Corey over at Circulate, and he did a collaboration with Nike, which is really dope because you love to see the homies that are on the grind get some shine with the big brands. And this is the t-shirt that he created. So it has Circulate Center for Art and Design, and then it talks about the Air Max 95 and some of the details around the Air Max 95. So shout out to Corey for sending this over. But the shoe is the thing that really strikes me because it is one of the most unique shoes, I think, in the Air Max line ever. And it marked a design change in the way that Nike looked at things, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So quick note here from young Corey, make sure you guys give him a follow if you aren't already. Please enjoy the stuff from myself and Nike. The shirt is friends and family, so I definitely wanted you to have one. Thanks for the support. Always love young Corey at Circulate. So here we go. This is the Air Max 95. So this shoe was designed by a guy named Sergio Lozano. He took over after Tinker Hatfield decided to focus more on the Jordan line and to kind of leave the Air Max line alone. The things on this shoe are super unique. You know, because we've seen it for so long, we don't really think about it that much anymore, but this shoe has a ton of details that make it super unique in the world of Air Max. First, the gradient color here that you see from the light gray to the dark gray. His design inspiration for this was rain coming down and washing away basically the dirt on the ground so you can see what's beneath. So that's why you have this gradient. It's essentially water falling down on the gray until you get to the darker parts down there at the bottom, which is pretty cool. Second thing, forefoot air. So this wasn't a common thing that happened back then. So you have these forefoot air pods, and this was the first time that these were on shoes as well. Third thing, the neon stripes. Neon hadn't been used on a Nike shoe before they were used on this one. This was the first time this Volt or neon color was used on a Nike shoe. And of course, you know, as most things at those times, most brands aren't happy with like first, but this is the first time. And now you see this neon Volt colorway in everything. And then the other thing, when you look at these neon stripes or these neon eyelets, I should call them, there is a reason behind them. Sergio wanted something to look like the human body, the anatomy of the human body. So these are supposed to represent your ribs and how they connect to your spine. As you see, this has that curvature here. That represents your spine, and then the eyelets represent your ribs and how they connect to your spine. Very cool detail when it comes to these shoes, and like those things, not a lot of people talk about those things when they come to these shoes. They always talk about the gradient and that it's neon, but there was such a bigger story with these, especially when it comes to the design inspiration, and I just wish more people knew about that. Maybe I'll do a social media about that, video about that as well, just to start like the top 3 things you need to know about the Air Max 95. Anyway, yeah, for those that are interested in these drop in a couple of weeks. They got a bunch of different colorways of the Air Max 95 coming. They're gonna do a big push for the Air Max 95. So let me know if that's a shoe you're interested in, and let me know if that's something you're gonna cop. Anyway, let's get into the releases for this week because there's some really good stuff popping up. And first off, for you Pokemon fans out there, you can rejoice because we've got another collab with Crocs coming your way. First up is the Mitch Max pair of clogs pitting eternal friends and rivals Charizard and Blastoise. I don't even know how to say that. Blastoise. Man, their OG trading cards are actually worth so much now. And speaking of cards, check out this pair featuring the popular EV that's seemingly inspired by a recent Prismatic Evolution set. So you get the Pokemon Crocs Claw Charizard versus Blastoise. That's going to be on June 10th for $75. And then you have the women's version with the Prismatic Evolutions. That's going to be on the 10th for $80 as well. Now, we've got 2 colorways of the iconic Nike Air Flight Pods dropping this week. There's the sail and black pair that's reminiscent of an OG colorway. And then there's a multicolor gradient pair that's got some 90s retro vaporware Charlotte Hornet vibes. So you have the Nike Air Flight Pods in sail and black on June 12th for $250. $250. What a price. And then you have it in Dusty Cactus and Persian Volt, again on the 12th for $250 as well. That is expensive. All right, you have the Nike Air Max Plus Golf US Open. This is going to be on the 12th for $125. So as you guys know, I'm super into golf, and Oakmont Country Club, which is partially located in Pittsburgh, is the site of the 2025 US Open. According to Johnny Miller, it's where the greatest performance of golf took place, the last day of the 1973 Open, when Johnny Miller carded a 63 and came back from 6 down to win. Coincidence? Absolutely. You might say that Johnny's performance was forged in steel, which fits the theme of this Pittsburgh-inspired Air Max Plus. For you New Balance fan, the Absorb 2000 is dropping in Stillwater Blue on June 12th for $200. New Balance has been on a hot streak lately with all of their new retro-inspired models getting some love from the casual and hardcore sneakerheads alike. This looks like the next in line with the seemingly Vapor Mask-esque looking Absorb tooling and the modern synthetic materials that give it a more futuristic edge, in my opinion. For you Air Jordan 14 fans, the Ferrari colorway is dropping on June 14th for $210. We have to remind everyone that this is not an official collaboration with Ferrari, a company that is notorious for being protective with how their name is thrown around. They'll probably let it slide because it's Michael Jordan, and sure, Jordan Brand can make a Jordan 14 that's basically a Ferrari shoe in every possible way, but the name. For you Adidas fan, the Climacool Off-White is dropping on the 9th for $140. For you basketball fans, the Nike Zoom GT Cut 3 Turbo Honeydew is dropping on the 9th for $210. You can also get a multicolor coming on June 9th for $200. And then there's the white and metallic silver dropping for $200. New Balance Numeric Thiago Limos 808 Light is dropping in black on June 9th for $95. But you can also get it in tan on the same day for $95 as well. 100 Thieves, they have the Adidas Palos Hills dropping in carbon. That's going to be on the 10th for $130. And then for you Puma folks, the Open YY Puma H Street is dropping in beige on June 10th. You can also get it in blue on June 10th. And then they're going to also have it in white on June 10th as well. For you golf fans, the Nike Victory Pro 4 Golf is dropping in white and Psychic Blue. That's going to be on the 11th for $150. For you CD Lamb fans, the Nike Zoom Vapor Pro 1 is dropping in the slime colorway. This is going to be on the 11th for $150. So Dallas Cowboys wideout CD Lamb, he's actually getting a PE drop for his cleats that, while slime themed, is actually connected to his family and the connections he makes. He also wore the cleats last season and was fined by the NFL, so it's kind of get like a kind of cool storyline there of a fined colorway of a golf cleat. Yeah. Let me see what else. Oh, the Nike Pegasus Premium. That's dropping in Summit White and Bright Crimson. That's going to be on the 12th for $220. The Nike SB Dunk Low in Red Stardust is dropping on the 12th for $115. The New Balance 990 V6 made in the USA is dropping in this Inkwell colorway. That's going to be on June 12th for $199. And then Jound is dropping his Asics Gel Cayano 14 in white and navy and blue. That's going to be on the 12th. And then you also have it in white and silver black, which is going to be on the 12th as well. Better Gift Shop. They have a Nike Air Max DNA. It's only going to be available at bettergiftshop.com, and it's going to be on the 13th for $200. So if you don't know about them, Toronto's Better Gift Shop gets the honor of being the first to work on the collab project with Nike's latest Air Max model. It's inspired by the store's aesthetic. DNA has hidden reflective elements of the upper, like the lines that air flow through the sneaker. The Better Gift Shop logo can also be on the tongue. For you Jaw fans, the Nike Jaw 2 Scratch NY versus NY is dropping on the 13th for $130. Vandy the Pink has an Asics Gel Nimbus 10.1 that's dropping in the strawberry colorway on June 13th for $180. And Jordan Brand, they are gearing up for next month's Quad 54 Street Ball tournament in Paris next month with a 4-pack of sneakers that basically covers all of their categories. You've got a Jordan 1 Low Retro, a Jordan Luka 4, and his recently revealed .77 takedown model. A lifestyle pair with the Flight Court yellow, black, and off-white will be the color of choice this year. And of course, you've got the requisite Quad 54 branding to go along with the Jumpman. So you have the Air Jordan 1 Low 85 Quad 54. That's going to be on the 13th for $160. You have the Luka 4. That's going to be for $140. You have the Luka .77. That's going to be for $100. And then you have the Jordan Flight Court on the 13th as well. All right, and I think that's everything that's dropping this week. But yeah, I love the Air Max 95. If you don't know the backstory behind it, it gives the shoe a little bit more energy, in my opinion. And this is also the big bubble version, you know, the new ones, because they have the big bubble on them now because of they did the Air Max 1, and now they're just putting the big bubble on everything, which I think looks pretty freaking cool. Anyway, let me know. What are your thoughts on the Air Max 95 and what sneakers are you copping this week? I'm Jacques Slade. As always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you to the homie Young Corey over at Circulate. Appreciate you sending over the shirt and also sending over the kicks. You're a man of your word. I appreciate you. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Peace.